The images are unbelievable. We are now starting to get a look at the damage left behind by Thursday night's tornadoes.
Oh, war zone. Walking through here, this is terrible.
In Indian Lake, the community is trying to pick up the pieces, and they are vowing to rebuild.
This is going to be a long-term recovery here.
This Indian Lake community will come back. And that's the message I got from everybody. We will be back.
It's not just the deadly tornadoes that hit Logan County. They're also cleaning up in Delaware County.
We was down in the basement, and all of a sudden the house started shaking, and you'd hear it sound like the roof went off.
We have team coverage from crews all over the area.
ABC 6 News at 5 starts with this breaking news alert.
A war zone, like a bomb went off. Apocalyptic, some of the phrases and words being used to try and capture the devastation left behind after a tornado tears through Logan County.
These aerial photos give you a sense of the destruction at Indian Lake. Once quiet neighborhoods, now nothing but mangled steel, wood, and piles of debris.
Now we'll look at the moment that the tornado hit. You see it in the distance, lit by the nearly continuous lightning. National Weather Service now confirming this was an EF3 tornado.
So far, there are 6 confirmed tornadoes across Ohio. Along with that EF3 in Logan County, there's also an EF2 that hit Crawford and Richland counties. And EF1 tornadoes confirmed for Licking, Mercer, Auglaize, and Hancock counties.
Now, as crews assess the damage and search efforts continue, we know that the storms are being blamed for killing 3 people.
Mary Rutan Health in Logan County tells us they have treated 26 people for injuries. We have a lot to unpack here tonight. We have our entire team of reporters covering every angle for you.
Let's start with Chief Meteorologist Marshall McPeak, busy last night and has spent the day around the Indian Lake area today. Marshall, what have you seen so far?
You know, the descriptions that you've been talking about, apocalyptic and devastating, these are good descriptors of what's happening out here. Take a look behind me. This is a house that is just on the edge of Orchard Island. The huge trees from the point are down. The crews are here working on roofs around the region, putting on the blue tarps, trying to protect, in some cases, what's left of some of these homes. This has been a devastating storm. The numbers are still not quite in yet. We don't know how many homes were damaged. Even just here in Orchard Island, there are several homes that were obliterated. There are dozens and dozens of others with what may be devastating damage to where they can't be saved. Others, you can put some tarps on the roof and move forward. The community is coming together here, and they're working together to feed each other and to try to find homes and housing for anyone who's been displaced. First responders have been busy all day trying to at least help people get in and out of the area safely. So it has been a very busy day out here. We've seen a lot of damage. The governor was out here earlier today. He too has seen a lot of this damage. Our Steve Levine is in Russell's Point tonight and was able to talk to the governor earlier today. Steve, what did he have to say?
Marshall, the governor took a tour around Russell's Point and Orchard Island, and let me show you some of the devastation he saw. Look right behind me. You can see this home. Trees toppled on top of the roof. There are power lines down. There is debris everywhere. The governor wrapping up a briefing with reporters about an hour ago after taking that vehicle tour, looking at all the damage. This is just some of the destruction that DeWine and state and local leaders saw in Lakeview. Homes and businesses flattened. Pieces of homes scattered across Indian Lake. Authorities telling us after several searches in Lakeview and Orchard Island, everyone has been accounted for, and the death toll from the storms stands at 3. The governor says plans already underway to get people who lost homes, property, and valuables back on their feet.
It's not lost on any of us that the summer season is almost here. So we're going to continue to work with local officials from the governor's office.
Silence was held for those who lost their lives in the deadly tornadoes earlier today with the governor. Logan County officials say the road to recovery from the community will be long, but they're confident Indian Lake will bounce back. Governor already saying plans are in place for financial assistance, both state and federally. But we asked about a timeline, and they say there's no timeline set up. So victims who lost homes, who lost property, still do not know when they can begin applying for this funds or where they can get a check. But Marshall, right now the focus is on this: cleaning up the debris, cleaning up the trees, cleaning up the siding, the debris all over this community. That's their focus tonight, Marshall.
Steve, thank you very much. This is a situation where, as a homeowner, you stop and you look at your house and you say, where do I begin? Because in some cases, the damage is strewn across the block. We've been looking at this damage today with the National Weather Service. They've been out here checking the damage because that's what they do to determine how strong the tornado was. And during the daytime today, they've been working on multiple tornadoes in the same way.
And it's really difficult to look at because it's clear that lots of people's lives have been turned upside down.
Brandon Peliquin is part of the team assessing damage in the Indian Lake area. Similar teams from the National Weather Service are spread out across central Ohio. Twisted trees, mangled power poles, obliterated trailers all provide clues about the strength and size of the storm.
There's a very real human element to it, to see the devastation and to see the people's lives and how they've been affected by this tornado.
Combined with radar data, the team will determine how long the storm was on the ground and its exact path. Then they can assign an enhanced Fujita rating to the tornado. The information is important to the climatological record, but the job itself can take a toll.
And I can tell you that there's been some tears in my eyes along the process, and there's probably more tears to come later on.
Some of it has been very difficult to look at because you know what it has meant to people's lives and livelihoods to have this much of the area destroyed. As you know, the National Weather Service has now determined this has been an EF3 tornado in this area. More details will come out on that in the next few days as they continue to look at radar data and more of the information about how this storm came through the region. In the meantime, our Isabel Hansen is in Lakeview this evening, where some of the other devastated neighborhoods are. Isabel, what are you seeing there?
Marshall, it's absolutely shocking to see the damage online, on social media, and in the news. But when you're here and see everything with your own eyes, it's hard to put into words how heartbreaking it is to see people's lives and homes flipped upside down and to know that people lost their lives here last night. Here's just one example. Everywhere you look, homes destroyed. This shed flipped upside down, and these two A-frame homes nearly toppled over. If you look inside this one, you can see times just standing still from when the tornado ripped through here. The couch, a side table, the fridge open on its side. And then if we bring you over to the other side of the home, I want to show you the doors. Neighbors tell me that a big group of them worked together to rescue people who were inside this home. They describe them as screaming, begging for help in those moments. They say they used everything that they could, a crowbar, an axe, even these poles that came off from the home during the tornado. And they say the door just was sealed shut. They could not get them out for some time, but after about 30 minutes, they rescued four people from these two A-frames and a few pets. One man described to me how he went back into the home's bathroom to get a dog out.
It was so scared, it was limp. It was a big dog too. I had to get it out of the bathroom and carry it pretty much through the house while it's trying to dig itself in the debris the whole time. But everyone was pretty much scared, through most of the night.
After getting people out of these homes, they say they went to several homes in their immediate neighborhood to bust down the doors and to rescue people. They say that thankfully a few people were only injured here. No one in their immediate neighborhood died. They tell me that they've been going door to door today, checking on each other, and right now what they really need, as you can imagine, is emotional support. Marshall.
Isabel, thank you. The emotional support is vital in this area right now because as people are trying to figure out what to do next, they need all the support they can get. This was not the only area that was affected by tornadoes last night. So far, we've confirmed at least 6 tornadoes around Ohio. Some of the devastation is also happening, or damage is happening, in Delaware County. And that's where Tom Bosco was during the daytime today.
Cleanup underway in Delaware County, which fared much better than Logan County. There was no loss of life and no injuries here in Delaware County. A lot of property damage, though. This is Ron Brown's house here in Berlin Township. Take a look in his garage. That's his brand new pickup truck there. It's now holding up Ron's garage. The storm raged last night with roaring winds, spectacular lightning, and wicked hail. All the while, Ron Brown, his wife, and their 14-year-old lab huddled in a hallway. Ron had faith in the house. He built it.
In '84, my dad and I built this house together. Man, did it hold up last night. When everything else was going astray, the house was steady.
The garage took a beating, though, with his 3-month-old truck inside and a new washing machine in the truck bed.
See it in the back of the truck?
Oh, yeah. The worst of the storm in Delaware County was in Berlin Township. That's where the storm toppled power line towers, leading to hundreds of power outages. And it's where Berlin High School's baseball and softball fields got hammered. In the city of Delaware, trees lay on the campus and the buildings of the Methodist Seminary on US 23. Still, Ron Brown points out it could have been much, much worse.
Yeah, it's just stuff.
It's just stuff. We're very close to Berlin Middle School and Berlin High School, those in the Olentangy School District. Olentangy School District officials telling me there was damage at those schools, and they also say district-wide, there are about 7 schools that don't have power. Fortunately, it is Friday. They've got the weekend to kind of figure out and do some cleanup and decide whether or not there's going to be school on Monday. On your side in Berlin Township, I'm Tom Bosco, ABC 6 News.
Thank you, Tom. Our team coverage continues shortly from the Indian Lake area and around central Ohio as the cleanup continues. We'll be back in a little bit.
Thank you, Marshall. See you then. Focus turning now to helping the communities and families hit the hardest. Join ABC 6, Fox 28, and iHeart Columbus by scanning that QR code there on your screen, and you can support the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund. And together, we can be on the side of storm victims who need our help.